That wasn't a dramatic entrance. I just turned the fan on. I'm sitting here writing out the offer for my new website. This new offering I'm putting out into the world, which has been created and built through my own personal experience over the past 11, 12 years. And I've worked with a lot of people, primarily in business. So my main sort of contact with the world has been for close to 8 years, maybe 9, has been through working with business owners. And the further along I went, as I started to pull the golden thread of what it is that was driving me, I started to see those same things inside of what my clients were looking for and needing, and understanding that the question beyond the question was what was really at the heart of their motivation, their motives, their actions and behaviors. And it brought me up to something today. I was as I was creating this this idea about guarantees and people needing a guarantee, and having worked in the spaces that I've worked within this, coaching people in group containers through specific frameworks around how to grow their businesses. The carrot that gets dangled is one of, we'll help you get to X. Right, whatever X is for you, right? So just put yourself in those shoes. Is it $1 million? Is it fucking $50K a month? Is it $10,000 a month? Is it more leads? Whatever, it doesn't matter. And I've seen so many offers. Over the years, and almost all of them have a guarantee of some sort, a carrot to dangle to assume risk or to take risk on to lower the barrier to entry for said offer, which is fine, right? But the moment these things happen, when we say we're going to get you X, we're going to get you Y, the person making the offer assumes all the risk. But in the coaching space, in this world, there's one thing that you can't guarantee is that you can't guarantee what the person who's opting in for your service is going to do with that information. And the thing that I'm focused on now is the human being behind making all of the decisions in relation to where it is that they want to go in life. And this is where this guarantee idea comes up, is that needing a guarantee in order to say yes to something. And I just want you to think about your need or necessity for you to go and say yes to a company in order to be okay with your decision. And for me personally, I couldn't give a fuck about a guarantee. So as a purchaser, when I go and look at coaching or what have you, is that I don't make my decision based on the tangibility of the outcome, because that assumes that that's the only outcome that I could get, that's that one, and it actually sells me short every single time, right? But I also understand the reason for it, right? This is that we're only going to get you to this level, and then once you get to that level, then we can go further and further and further. But I've worked on programs or in programs where I've been learning to do something and they've had a guarantee, and I was well within my rights to ask for my money back, but I couldn't deep down inside ask for it. Because the one thing that I knew above all else was I knew I didn't do everything I could inside of that program in order to get the outcome that was promised, right? Now this brings up a whole bunch of other stuff around the attachment to said outcome, which means that it needs to look exactly like this. I need to get exactly that outcome, otherwise this is a failure. And it completely neuters the individual from any potentiality outside of that outcome. If they're looking at that, they've got one foot in the door saying, yeah, all right, I'll check this out. And then they've got one foot out of the door saying, well, this doesn't work. That's a you thing. You said it would work, right? Now, that's not to say that there aren't some snake oil salespeople out there and their programs aren't fantastic and all that sort of thing. But in my experience, what I've come to know and discover is that my decision to work with someone and say yes to someone starts well before I actually get there. Right, I don't just show up to a sales call not knowing the answers to my questions. If I'm on a sales call with someone, which I find fucking abhorrent, is I've already made a decision. Hand on heart, if I'm on a call with you about your offer, about your service, I've already made my decision. The reason is because over the years, what I've learned to do is to actually trust my own ability to discern what is and isn't for me. I'm not thinking logically only. I want to know intuitively, is this the right person I want to spend my time with? Right? Does this person understand where I am? And in order to know that, I need to spend more time in their world, which is potentially consuming a lot more of their content, right? Spending more time in their sphere. So when it comes to guarantees, I don't guarantee my work because I want you to be able to trust yourself to make a decision. I want the impact of your decision to be part of your process, part of your evolution, part of your growth, right? Because the fee that I'm asking for is not a small one. It's only for a few people. It's not for most people. And it's taken me 12 years of dedicated work and practice to get to this point in my life to look at the world in this way. And some of the best experiences come with no expectation at all. They're so far void from expectation because expectation puts you in a box, and that box is only based on what you can physically see or have experienced in the past. So you just want a version of something you've already seen. What I see time and time again, that's the undoing for most people because they discount their own unique inner rightness, their own uniqueness around what they can bring into the world, around who they're being. Who they're being is a copy of a copy of a copy. What if this goes wrong? The fear comes up. That's the whole fucking point. That is the point. Is that if the fear comes up and it's met with a level of excitement at the same level, then you're in the right place. But if you can't trust your intuition, your inner knowing, and you have to lean on a guarantee in order to feel okay about your decision, because then you can start to point the finger and say they didn't do their job properly, you're giving your power away. Learning the lessons that you need to learn and staying the course because things didn't happen in X amount of time, right? Guarantees they're weird because get this result in 90 days. It's like get this result in 30 days when it comes to coaching or business. It's like it makes the assumption that you're the same as others. And while business can form a pattern and what's needed for business in order to work and to grow, there are patterns and there's foundations and staples and things that are needed. They don't all need to look the same, right? So the healthcare practices don't all need to look the same. The coaching practices don't need to all look the same. What I'm building here doesn't look like anyone else's thing because I'm not like anyone else and I don't want to build whatever other people have. I've been there, I've done that. It wasn't for me. It was for me until I got to a point where I couldn't reconcile with the thing I was building and creating because I hadn't given it enough depth and thought. And that's what this is all about. What this is all about is your ability, or my ability, to be able to artistically create something for another person and meet them where they're at, in and of the moment, and understand and help them get and be okay with the messiness of the process. It's not clear cut. I don't care who you are. Ask any successful person what their trajectory was to where they are. If they didn't have a pitfall or they don't have any regrets, they're fucking liars. you've got to get knocked over. And you've got to be okay to get back up and keep going. If you're married, there's no guarantee that's working. The only guarantee you have is that you're going to show up and do the work when shit hits the fan. Or you're going to be proactive enough so you've got a strong enough foundation under you so when shit does hit the fan, and it will if it hasn't yet, you've got the wherewithal, you've been able to build the communication, the solid connection with that other human being based on love, connection, trust, knowing, all the good shit, all the bad shit, to be able to move through it. Right, till death do us part. That's a big one. That's a big one. What does that mean in sickness or in health? That doesn't mean physical sickness. That means when you fuck up. Then what? Then we get to work. That's what this is about. There's a lot of fun to be had in this space. It's so liberating to be able to walk into a room and know that there is zero expectations, and with zero expectations comes this infinite possibility, this freedom to play in the unknowing of what is potential. Open rather than closed. Stop looking for a way for it not to work. Why would you invest in something with one foot out the door and fuck, if this doesn't work? That's a way of being, and a way of being that's not serving you. I'm not saying this to justify why I'm not putting a guarantee on here, but it's a way in which to filter out who's ready to make that call and that transformation in their own lives and willing to go all in, 100% all in on getting to know themselves beyond where they're currently at, which will allow whatever it is that you point yourself at, whether it be your relationship, your business, your health, whatever it is, to flourish because of it. Because it's your state of being that you're applying this to. You're not applying it to this thing that you think is the thing you need in order to be happy. You get to be. Who are you going to choose to be? Someone who needs a safety net all the time and won't grow past that need? Or someone who wants to stand on their own 2 feet and work through the shit? Because in working through the shit, you're going to come up with you're going to come across all the good too, all the unknown good. It's like, think about how vast the universe is for you to think that the outcome that you've designed in your head is the only way that thing can look. It's bonkers. It's fucking bonkers. Like, in me personally, I've got a vision, massive vision. I want to build and I want to buy a 100-acre property so I can work with people over a 12-month or extended period of time to incubate people's visions. Now, does it have to be my 100-acre property? No. Is it just me on my own? No. Will it just be about things like Vision Quest? No. Does it need to have a waterfall on the property? Yes. I won't let go of that one. But the point here is that the vision to create the incubator in order to help people grow and build their visions, which are going to impact thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people, maybe more, I don't know. I don't want to put that number on it to go, this is it. They're only going to, if I impact one person, massive, huge. I know by having this vision, I've already impacted one person. I've impacted me. Not only that, I'm impacting my kids and my wife because I've been able to go through this process. But there's no guarantees to this, and nor do I want one. Because if I've got a guarantee that it's going to look like that, then that's all it can look like. Yeah. So yeah, not... What's the fear beyond your need for a guarantee? What is that fear? We're not talking about a white good or an appliance. We're talking about your life. Right? And it's almost like that this life is finite, as in you only get one. In this body maybe, but not as a soul. Not as the essence to who you really are and the thing you've come down here to learn. Because you're going to get this time and time and time again. And you're going to level up each and every time. You're going to learn the lessons or you're not. You're going to get what you get or you're not. There's so much more on offer than the nonsense that gets sprouted online about what you can potentially have. It's just be very careful around who you say yes to. And I don't want you to say yes to me. You say yes to me, great. I've still got to say yes to you, so don't forget that. This is not a one-way street. So we've got to act accordingly. Do your homework, have the conversations, get involved, have an experience. Throw your hat in the ring to something that's just so far out of your comfort zone and find out who you are in that place. Stop pointing the fingers at people and blaming them and expecting them to hold the weight of your decision. It's your decision. You own the consequences of that, good and bad. It's just something to consider.